So what you're about to watch is me flying the Churchella Tupolev 134B, no, A, from Da Nang to Phnom Penh in Cambodia. It was a pretty cool flight. Two major things happened that you may have noticed in the title. Number one, we had a terrible failure of the yaw damper system, and number two, I totally messed up the VOR approach into Phnom Penh due to forgetting to align my gyros to the airport latitude, longitude, and also I think I just had like a spatial awareness issue being so used to conventional HSIs. So it's a pretty interesting video. You might want to skip through a little bit of the approach because I do two missed approaches and then I just shoot a visual because I'm so lost and so spatially disoriented. I get a little frustrated, but it's a really cool, kind of humbling pilot experience, I think. And I finally got a full video out in the Churchella 134, like a full flight video, which I said I wanted to do earlier and then I didn't. But now I did. All right, welcome to Da Nang, Vietnam. We're going to step into this time machine again, go back to 1991, operating Vietnam Airlines Flight 841, service nonstop to Phnom Penh in Cambodia from Da Nang. We're back in the Churchella Tu-134, and I'm pretty rusty. I haven't flown this plane, I think, not since I did the video. I think I did another flight afterwards, but, you know, it's been a little bit. This is custom Da Nang scenery that doesn't really work well in X-Plane 12. I don't have SAM jetways, so I installed the normal scenery, and there was trees everywhere. So I'm gonna just pick this. It's so like flight sim. You just want to get it and go, and then things pile up. But hey, check out that mountain and some other military things. Wouldn't know what that's for. Anyways. Plane's preloaded. There's nobody online. It's like 5 in the morning in Vietnam, you know, so let's just fire this sucker up. I want my nav light. I want my fuel pump. Fuel protection. Boom. There she goes. There we go. That's what we want. True. Yeah, you know, that looks pretty chill. That looks chill. That looks chill. Are we monitoring COM 1? Yes, we are. We'll turn that on. Sorry, COM 2. It's our fan. So why does that... no. Why does that drive up our EGT so much? I can never understand that. Transponders on. Fuel cutoffs. That's what we want. There we go. Now, no, still not it. Okay, so let's brief for the Papra 2 departure. I'll give you the route here. So we're going to take off 17 left, right? 17 left. 5 DME from Da Nang, we're going to turn left, direct VOR, then direct 255 radar level bound to Tana and Papra, not exceeding 240 knots until over at the VOR. Standard climb rate, we can maintain that. The narrative for that is accordingly. I don't think there's any military operations going on. Wouldn't know why that would be a thing. I don't know. After Papra, I like to use SkyVector for en-route stuff, so I'll show you that. After Papra, I'm just going to go direct Viren on the Romeo 575 airway, then direct Phnom Penh VOR. And we'll figure out some kind of arrival procedure because there's no conventional terminal procedures. I want to try and use the government for en-route only, and at least do a little bit of VORing. 14.4, let's do 255 here. Might as well get DME up. 4.4. I'll worry about Phnom Penh later. I want runway heading. I'll kill the gust lock there. So that's going to be 173. That'll do. Okay. As for performance, I've actually pre-calculated it using performance tables in one of the manuals. VR is 258, V2 is 265. Takeoff RPM percentage is going to be 97. We're going to use 92 for the climb. That's just a rule of thumb for me. I don't do all of the calculations at once. So that's the way she goes, really, for me. Let's go ahead and kill door, shocks, stairs. That's our little takeoff departure briefing. The rest of our systems are going to come online with the engines. But yeah, it's about a 45-minute flight. 6,000 pounds of fuel, 71 passengers. It's pretty straight up. I believe that's our beacon. One of these is our beacon. Yeah, well, I see the beacon, so. Seatbelt sign. Bleeds on, we have pneumatic pressure. So, let's check our thrust levers are idle. Let's do it. Ignition. Left engine. Ah. Fuel. So we got a reading there. Stabilized at 60%, I believe. Alright, let's try for the other side now. Yeah, they take their time. Okay. Should want that. Cool. Cool, cool. So leave you off. Stop you. I think we can leave it like that. Pressurization is on. I'm not going to finagle around with it. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that that's okay. Flight control fuel system. Probe heat. Window heat on low. Going to try and pressurize our hydraulics here. In the meantime, climate control switches can all go to auto. We can pressurize the cabin. Or no, just open up our engine bleed air valves, which I can't see the gauge, but I think it's working. I think we want that on for our hydraulics. COM 1 on as well. That's a fan. We can also turn our captain's and first officer's gyros on. We can align them. Getting pretty confused over this no hydraulic pressure business. Can align our gyros as well. Da Nang is situated at north 16. Let's just go like that, honestly. And no. Well, that's doing its thing. Okay, those are aligned. That's good. Leave that open. I already set standard Q and H. Actually turn our transponder on. That's something I forgot to do. Aha! That's it. That's the one I forgot. A lot of guys will do that, but I forgot that. So now we can charge our accumulator. We can start charging that guy. We'll set flaps 10 degrees for departure. We'll set 1.5 on the stab. We'll turn on our channels and our repair switch. I just want to check, we don't seem to be receiving DME from Da Nang. Turn that on as well. And this is going to be real simple. We just go here, plug in our flight plan, boom. Maybe that's part of that. Okay, now I got something. Oh, come on, one of you's got a point normally. I think that is pointing at a place. So we'll round it up and say that at 10 kilometers we'll make that left turn. I think that'll be okay. Heading's already pre-bugged. So not much else to do, I don't think. I want to run a quick flight control check here. Make sure I got full authority over everything. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Thank you, Cat Strader. I'm going to ask you to put me here.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
I never checked if this thing actually likes to work with better pushback. I guess we're going to find out. I think that's working. I hope that's working.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect. Welcome aboard, Captain. Tow's connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Let's go.
Here comes the pushback.
I want to see if this actually does this semi-properly. Also going to set our fuel per tank here, I just realized. So if we have, let's just go out on a whim and say that right now we have 6,200. We ran the APU for a while. 62, 30, it's 3,100. So we'll say 30, yeah, 30, whatever. For our, that's our fuel counters. Very primitive thing. I don't know why it's even there. Seems to be doing the pushback just fine, so I'm happy with that. What? Doing a drift? It's actually okay. Ain't that something though, eh? Just the sound of all the avionics and the radios and stuff, it's insane. It's pretty deafening. I can't lie. Alright, what's your plan here? Whoa, okay. You know what? It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking promising. Just tell me to set that parking brake. I'm gonna intervene. Yes!
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
I remember with the Fila 747.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
That was always fun. I'm just going to change my sound here real quick. Aircraft interior. That's alright. It's whatever. So this is a bearing needle for VOR 2. I guess we might as well just tune Phnom Penh while we're here. Waiting for this guy. It's going to be an inbound 196 radial. Yep. You're good to go. Alright, so for the taxi we're going to take Echo. There's no inner outer, just Echo. All the way to Echo 7. I'm gonna do no intersection, just make it work. I'll say, this is the actual call sign, by the way.
And we're disconnected. Signaling pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Thank you. Da Nang traffic, Vietnam Airlines 841 taxiing 17 left via Echo Echo 7, Da Nang. They don't just say Vietnam, it is Vietnam Airlines. Alright, let's give it a bit of gas here. Oh yeah, we turn our nose wheel steering on as well. Nope. That one. We can extend our lights, but I think that's the taxi. Maybe. Okay, they're both the same. Well, that's fine. There's Echo 7 up there. We'll just make a quick little turn here. I don't know if the Doppler works on this plane. I think it's simulated, but I'm pretty sure the Doppler is this up here, and it doesn't. Like, there's no button for it. Down there, the RSBN and the NAS1 do work. Maybe, obviously. But, so I don't think we have to turn on any Doppler. It's just there, existing. Man, I do really want to learn this, but I can't seem to wrap my head around it. I think I'm insecure. I've got some commitment issues. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. That lines up about right with the runway, so... Or the reciprocal for the runway. Oh, this is your checklist. It's too bad it's all in Russian. If you can't maintain centerline in this aircraft, something wrong with you. Okay, we're coming up on her now. So we'll turn our main lights on. Phnom Penh traffic, or Da Nang traffic, Vietnam Airlines 841, departing 17 left. Popper 2 Alpha departure to the west. Da Nang traffic. Okay, I think all we gotta do is shut down our nose wheel steering. There's no strobe light or nothing. Don't have TCAS. She's trimmed, man. Let's do it. Okay, nose wheel steering's coming off. 55 degree. Let's advance our throttles now to 97. Okay, thrust is set. Airspeed is alive. So that's pretty sure that's what he said in Russian. I'll wait for 250, 258 to rotate. Okay, rotate. Took a little bit, but we're up. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. She's heavy today. I said we were near EMTO, and we are. I'm going to start trimming now. Boom. Wait for 10 kilometers, make that left turn. Keep her climbing even more. We can retract the lights. Okay, 1,000 feet, we're going to set climb power. Climb power is set. And we'll sort of slow the aircraft down a little bit. I'm going to call for flaps up. Just watch that angle of attack there. If there's one thing I know about Russian airliners. I reckon we'll start the turn now. So we'll go like so. At a reasonable bank angle. We are exactly behind the VOR. So I'm just going to make it like a semi-sharp turn here. Da Nang traffic, Vietnam Airlines 841, airborne through 2,700 feet, direct Da Nang VOR. Last call, Da Nang. Speed's looking good. Bank angle's looking good. I'm just going to double check that our bleed air thing... I really would like that to be on. I just don't know if it is. Change up our heading bug here. Okay, 4,000 feet. 9,000 is the transition level, by the way. Both prepare lights are yellow. So, let's go autopilot on. Let's try heading mode here. That is heading mode, just verifying that. We'll keep on flying direct to the VOR. It's a little bit like, did I turn the exterior sounds down by accident? I don't know what I did. I have a feeling I might have. Okay, we're pretty much direct to VOR now. Turning inbound. And we'll just wait to find that 255 radial on the rollout. So that bearing pointer is moving pretty fast now. So I think we're approaching the cone of confusion. We'll also set standard pressure. So yeah, what I'll do now is, can I use the turn coordinator? I can use that. So I can still have the VOR displayed. So that's what I'll do. And I'll turn now heading 255 to intercept that radial. I can get a bit more out of that. Let's check our cabin statistics. I don't know, cabin something. DP looks good. Cabin altitude is, I think that's cabin altitude. Doesn't look like our cabin's climbing. It's probably nothing serious. I'm gonna level it out now since we're close by, so it's not gonna take much to find that radial. 11,000 feet. We'll do seatbelt signs off. That RMI is still acting funny. I think it's just because we're in close proximity to it. Now it's starting to move in. So if I go... There we go, VOR track, okay. So now we are tracking that radial outbound. We are 50 miles from Papra. So that's looking good. That was a fun little departure. So I think I'll pick back up with you guys around cruise, start briefing for the arrival into Da Nang, or not Da Nang, Phnom Penh. I gotta put my geography cap on here. That's what I'm struggling with. I think we could give the engines a little more gusto. Bring them up a little bit, and yeah, because our climb rate's already pretty woeful. ADF receivers as well. I guess if we need that. Probably not. I wonder what the cabin temperature is. I think that's the static air temperature, like outside. Maybe. That would make sense. It looks like it's about 18, 19 degrees. That's pretty fine. I think this is the outside, which is just below freezing. That's to be expected. This is okay. We're just not going to fly into any clouds. Anyways, pick back up with you guys in a little bit. Coming out from Da Nang. Yeah, I think I accidentally turned the exterior sounds down, but boy, what a beautiful view of Vietnam. That's pretty cool. I recognize that this airline, to my knowledge, is the airline from the north side of Vietnam, which maybe wasn't the best side, but I don't know. I'm just gonna fly this airplane and try and keep those thoughts out of my head. Wow, X-Plane 12, man, this new update is something else. I gotta turn this down. Aircraft interior. No, it's just. It's just loud all the time, I guess. Okay. Anyways, I'll check back with you guys in a little bit, talking about the arrival in the Phnom Penh. The weather information, I'm going to check the forecast here, actually. I should talk about this later, but whatever. I want to talk about it now. 250 at 10 with scattered 17. Scattered 15. So I'm just thinking it's going to be a little bit cloudy, a little bit loosey-goosey, but it should be fine. Nothing we can't manage. Which is good, because I've done an ILS. I did an ILS at Kiev in this plane in about 600 foot ceiling, and I was near death. You know, I was close to death. I could feel the pearly gates waiting. So try not to do that this time around. I'd rather just shoot a visual approach rather than a precision approach, because this thing can't really fly an ILS properly. So if I can get away with it, I'll do a visual, and what I'll probably end up doing is doing an ILS off the autopilot. Anyways, talk to you guys in a little bit. Hey, you join me now as the aircraft struggles to hold altitude, because the autopilot's really stupid. Probably my main gripe about this plane is the autopilot is extremely stupid. It's just a terrible design. It looks stupid, and it acts stupid. Anyways, we're going to look at the arrival in the Phnom Penh now. I actually can get a METAR saying 240 at 4. Directions changing 280 degrees variable. Scattered 15, scattered 4,000, temperature 28, QNH 1005. That is pretty plausible. I'll take that. So landing at Phnom Penh, we have one runway to choose one from, 05 and 23. Obviously no brainer. We'll take 23. What can we get for approaches? 23 has an ILS. Although I'm kind of interested in the VOR, because we are going to be flying direct to the Phnom Penh VOR. We could totally join that DME arc in to an nth degree. It might get a little bit hazy, but we'll see. Minimums are 650 feet, that's perfect. If the ceiling's 1500, we're golden. Platform's 1650, so works out. I think we'll take this. Can I add that into my thing? I wonder what the omelet trends. We could just go direct, could we not? I don't know. No, it'd be pretty tough. Let me see where the Ariba fix is in relation to. So let's say I go. If I go via Ariba, what does that get me? That's just kind of weird. I think I'm just going to fly an arc to the initial approach fix. I'm really kind of messing around here. So we'll plan to. Don't tell me I need We don't have VNav, so fly to Icaca on a 12 DME arc. Join that arc to Icaca. Plan to cross it at 2,500 feet. I want to cross Icaca. Okay, I want to cross Icaca at 15 degrees of flaps, 300 kilometers per hour. And for Tanak, we'll go 30 degrees of flaps, 250 kilometers per hour, or 260, 270. Didn't know you could adjust that. And the blue band on the horizontal stabilizer. We'll set that. All kind of going over the approach fix to set up for the approach. MDA is 4,000 feet. After we land, it's a sizable runway, so we'll just do reverse thrust with minimal braking, try and get off at Charlie, and go to the terminal. So it should be pretty chill. It should be alright. So my plan is, just to reiterate, after we cross Vibban, I'm going to go direct to Phnom Penh, which we should be receiving DME from by now. We are not. Do we have a bearing pointer? No. It's fine. We'll get it eventually. So we'll go direct Phnom Penh overhead Vibban on 196 until 12 DME, and we'll fly the arc like that to go straight in for the runway. Be pretty chill. I gotta just get an accurate number here. So miles to kilometers. 12 miles is 19 kilometers. We'll round it up to 25. Be safe. We'll say 25 kilometers for contingency reasons. We'll fly a 25 kilometer arc around Phnom Penh. As for landing performance, we can do this live here on the fly. Let's see what we got. So I want to look at... No, not that. This is fuel planning. This is not trying to find our V speeds. I'm speed running through this here a little bit. Landing speeds. Here we go. I want to do a flap 30. And our landing weight, according to SimBrief, it's not a very reliable source in this aircraft's case. I don't think the profile's that good for it. They wanted me to go up to 360. By 300 I was dying, so I just leveled it off there. Landing weight's going to be 38.9. We'll say 38. Okay. Flap 30, 38. That's going to be 253-ish. So I'll just write that down. VRF 253 with the winds. We'll say 260. Nice even number to round it up to. I wonder if we have a clean speed. We know when we can bring out flap 10, we can say 280 knots. Or sorry, 280 kilometers per hour. We'll call that our VFS 280. I don't know. I can't remember what VFS stands for. Just like a preliminary speed. I don't know. Look at that. We're at 310. I select altitude hold. It's on 310. I wonder if I could mess around with the trim here. That's not doing anything. I think it's because we need to bind this to mechanical trim. See if that kind of messes around with it a little bit. If I open up that trim band, hypothetically, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Made a new profile for the honeycomb for the Tupolev 154, I don't know, or 134. Still making this stuff up as I go along here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to do it. Let's try opening up this again. How many miles from Vibban? 23 or so. It's kind of an aggressive descent, but I just want to see if I can get the altitude hold to work. Because look at that, it's just running out. I think we want to trim like full down. I think that's the motive. We're in a free fall. Engage altitude hold. You know what? I think this is perfectly fine. This is a normal way to fly. Hey, we're receiving DME from Phnom Penh. Just neutralize it. Okay, now stay. Just stay where you are. Just hold the yoke where it is. Yes. No, don't go up. Do not go up. Stop going up. Push the nose down. But don't overcorrect. I swear, this autopilot and an Embry-Riddle student, same level of IQ. Look at that, look at that. 1,500 feet per minute, that is. There's no way you're shooting an ILS in this thing. It's a death trap. Just gonna let it do its thing until we have to start descending. Anyways, we are inbound Vibin. So what I'll do now is, what's the radial inbound? 196. 196. Let's go here. VOR. Let's get it to just intercept that. And we can start descending now, actually. Technically speaking. I hope it will descend in like a reasonable fashion. Okay, we've intercepted that radial now. It is 196. Now just please, all I'm looking for is a nice chill descent. Tupolev, please can you give me that? Just stop oscillating. It's just making up new things as it goes along. Like what this wheel does to me is a complete Fugazi. There we go. It's kind of holding something now. I'm just going to proactively edit it as it goes along. Try and make it reasonable. Also, I can't really see the DME, so I'm just going to take the yoke out, like whatever. See the way the rudder is, that's not the wind, by the way, that's the yaw damper. Look at that thing. I don't know if this plane was this crazy in real life, or if it's a matter of Churchella, but you know. Alright, let's use our mechanical trim now and just Alright, we've reached the end of the band, the nose down band. I don't know what it's doing. Look at that thing. Tupolev is like, no! I do not want to go here. Stop! This is a bad place. It's freaking out. I'm really hoping that'll just kind of like fizzle out. Like, you know when you've got a trailer that's fishtailing, you gotta hit the gas and it'll just kind of smooth itself out? I don't know if we're gonna have that with this scenario. We'll see. Is there a yaw damper? There must be a yaw damper control switch. Everything's in Russian, right? So, yaw damper channels 1 and 2. That's 9 and 10 switches on the overhead. Let's kill them. Boom. Okay, the rudder is still moving. Let's idle our engines here. So that did nothing. This is literally like in real life, doing this kind of thing in an airliner would rip the tail off of it. I'm thinking of a certain incident in my head. And the autopilot's still doing its own thing. I feel like disengaging the yaw damper might have made the autopilot even more stupid. I don't know. We can probably shallow out our descent a little bit. I think we might have been exceeding a little bit. This rudder thing is really, like, I'm getting like motion sick. Oh. Suddenly it's okay. I think that's the normal amount. I remember seeing that on some flights I did for Pulkovo Aviation. What it was doing there before was never seen that before. Like, that was crazy. That was out of this world. Anyways, this is Cambodia. I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called The Killing Fields, but I'm guessing those are some of the fields where they did the killing. Pretty crazy stuff, man. Once again, my historian cap is fully on. 20,000 feet. 195. How much is that in miles? I'm never good with converting. Let's put in 193, 119 miles. All right, so yeah, this descent rate we're at, the 1,000 feet per minute, that'll do. That's perfectly chill. We could even shallow it out. I think we might have descended a little bit prematurely. That's okay, because we'll just shallow it out. We'll bring our speed back up. Our rudder seems to have fixed itself, so there's Tupolev magic at work there. Don't need to worry about the seatbelt sign. So oh, is it coming back? I was about to say, so I'll check in with you guys in a little bit after when we're through about 10,000 feet and we can start preparing for the VOR approach into Phnom Penh. The rudder seems to be doing okay. That's really all I care about. If the rudder's okay, I think I'm okay. Boy, look at that sunrise, though. Okay, I'll check in with you guys at about 10,000 feet. And we'll shoot that beautiful VOR arc to the VOR approach for runway 23. Alright, so we're through 9,300 feet. Lights are on. Seatbelt signs are on. Rudder is, you know, it's doing okay. One thing I don't know for certain, I think we got to slow down to like 500 kilometers per hour. Because, you know, the 250 below 10 restriction and all that jazz, so we'll just bring it back a little bit, doesn't hurt. We're getting close to our 25 kilometer DME arc point. I've also written down translations in kilometers for the DMEs of our initial approach fix and our fix that we're going to start descending on a 3-degree standard glide path down. If you don't have basically anything other than an Airbus, this little diagram here is useful. You take your current airspeed and it gives you a descent rate that matches a 3-degree glide path. I'm guessing, looking at our VREF, let me just do kmh to knots. 258 comes out to 139, so 100%, let's do 140 knot approach, 743 feet per minute. Simple, simple as. Shallow that out a little bit there. Bring some power back. .450 should be a chill speed for us now. And I'm seeing more of these fields, you know, like I've never really looked at Cambodia on a map. It just seems like a lot of farming, I guess. All I really know is stuff about the Khmer Rouge and yeah, that's about it. And that one Dead Kennedy song. That was pretty good song. Very punk. But if we're below 10,000, we should be sterile cockpitting. We should not be talking about pop culture here. We have briefed for our VOR approach. If we have to go around, the misapproach procedure is really straight up. It's just fly 228, runway heading outbound to 1800, and then right back to the approach fix, which obviously we can't do direct to waypoint, but you know, we'll just get on a rough bearing and try and rejoin that 25 kilometer arc, and that should work out for us. Also, I didn't use the auto throttle this whole flight. It's cool that it has an auto throttle, and it does work. But I usually only do it to maintain speed, because it doesn't incorporate thrust limitations or anything. So if you ask it to go like 550 and you're at 450, it's going to firewall the throttles. And I think I had it on max climb the whole flight, and it was just hovering around 550, so that worked for me anyway. We can keep shallowing it out now. We definitely started our descent a little premature, but we didn't go crazy or nothing. We did make pretty suitable corrections. I'm starting to see more signs of civilization, so that's good as well. When we join the arc, we'll slow her down real quick. What I'll do now is I'll disengage VOR. And I'll change this now to say inbound course of 224. And we'll just get ready to fly that radial. We could start now, honestly. We'll give ourselves a lot of room. So let's bring the turn coordinator in and say go that way. I think this thing does like to make shallow turns, so. And we'll start slowing down our airplane. 2,000 feet, or 2,500 feet is what we're leveling off at, so. We'll bring the throttles back and we'll just manage that descent rate. shallow it out even more. Last 500 feet, we'll just crawl down to that altitude. Let's see if that works for us. So I'm just watching that DME now. I'm hoping it'll freeze and then start rolling back the other way. All right, let's try rounding out there. Okay, it's froze. We'll tell it to level off here. Bring in a little bit of extra gas. Alright, now it's started rolling back, so let's make another course correction now. We'll say we'll fly heading 150. And also, just for safekeeping, let's bring out flaps 10 degrees. That's our gear, I think. There we go. Watch the altitude, man. Can you not hold the altitude? It can't hold altitude. It literally can't. We also never set local QNH. It's going to be 1005. So really we're low. I set, oh, what did I set? 224? Yeah, that's fine. So why am I rolling past that? Okay, alright, let's go direct, I guess. That makes little sense, but whatever. I guess it's a good thing we had that extra distance to work with, because I think we overshot the VOR. Somehow. Because look at that bearing pointer. Oh. Yeah, no, that's weird. It's still descending. Alright, I'm just going to go like this. See if I can put it in a climb. Still looking for the field. It is past the mouth of a river. And I do see Ann River. Alright, we should be getting that radial pretty soon. I'm just looking at the chart here, and that river, that middle island there, matches what I'm seeing. So it's a good thing the clouds weren't as bad as they were. As I said, doing that ILS into Kiev, that killed me, man. We're still way off vertical profile. Ikaka is 17.2. Oh, actually, we can start descending, technically. And I see the air. No, that's not the airport. Just in case this means anything. Okay, we're supposed to level off at 1,500 feet. I don't trust that for a second. I don't know what it's doing. Whoa. Okay, let's where's my trim? Let's set flaps, another notch of flaps. Let's bring gear down. Just I don't know what that noise is. And that's the airport. Alright, so let's do a missed approach, go direct ICAX. Let's go landing gear up, flaps 10 degrees. Let's climb back up to 2500 and get ourselves reestablished. We're left of the VOR now. I'm gonna try and fly a reciprocal. I mean, if I've got visual with the runway, then that's okay. It's at times like these where you don't want to panic, just fly the airplane. We'll keep her low speed with half the flaps out. We've got our horizontal stabilizer set. We're okay. Just gotta climb a little bit more here. So that was a pretty okay missed approach. Once again, ICAC is at 17 kilometers. climb back up a bit more to 2,500. So what we'll do is we'll fly overhead Ikaka and then just make a 180 and re-intercept the radio. Roughly overhead Ikaka. We'll just make a right turn. Make a right turn. Or left turn, sorry. Alright, there's 2,500. We're approaching 16 miles. 16 kilometers. Or 17 is actually when Ikaka is, so. Let's try that again. Let's try that again and try and be stable. Alright, there's 17. We start the left turn. Basically just changing its pitch by the trim here. Alright, that's better. We'll get on a more aggressive intercept heading, I think, for that radial. So if it's 224, we'll go 194, I guess. We're going to be a little bit late to Phnom Penh. We were actually on schedule departing somehow. I thought I'd be late, but in that similar ironic fashion, we're going to be late, I think, to Phnom Penh. Phnom Penh traffic, Vietnam Airlines 841 is 10 miles to the north, east of the field, VOR DME, runway 23, Phnom Penh. Alright, we'll roll out 193. We can descend now to 1,500 feet. Let's bring out more flaps. I'm just going to wait for the gear, because the gear just makes such a racket. Got a red light here. Is that starting to move finally? It's still a total dud. Is that... no, that can't be the airport. There's a million things that could be the airport when you're in a city. Now is when we gotta start our 700 foot per minute descent here. just don't see it. I have no idea what's going on. Like this radial just refuses to come in. Yeah. Full flaps now. How did we do that? So there's the runway there, and I'm going to fly a downwind for it. I'm totally spatially disoriented here. I have no idea why that missed approach didn't get us set back up. I want to try and rejoin that platform fix of Tanak at 9 kilometers. One thing I'm noticing is that I'm right of the VOR, and it's saying I'm left of the VOR, I think. This makes absolutely zero sense, and I've got no bearing pointer either. I just don't think the VOR is working. Maybe I need it on HA. No, it just automatically goes to that. It's just beyond me, man. So I did that first misapproach and then somehow went there. It's because it's displaying opposite. How does that make any sense? Why is it displaying the opposite of what's... Okay. So the reason... I'm just totally lost here. I'm gonna turn base, shoot a visual, call it a day. So I'm totally clueless. Alright. Let's go full flaps. So right around here is when this really annoying blaring sound comes on. And I think it was the gear horn, and it got stuck on. It would not turn off. Later when I parked up the aircraft, I shut down all the batteries, everything, and it was still on. So it was a bug, 100%. So I'm just gonna skip ahead. Like fast forward the final approach there, and I'll just leave it on for the landing, which was pretty atrocious. You guys gotta see that. And then I think I'm just gonna play some nice theme-fitting music to the gate because it's so loud, man. You don't.
Холодным мокрым вечерком тебя подаркой увидал, когда по лиговке с дружком.
What is that noise?
Нам был для дела нужен фар.
Just gonna start turning things off and hope that one of them turns off the thing.
Я был уже готов на блеф. Я тасовал колоду карт, а ты сфартила даму треф. Ты говорила, что одна, и слезы по щекам текли, несчастлива и голодна, тебя замазали.
I really just don't want to listen to that anymore. What? Let me just take a look at the flight path we took. Chalk the wheels here. Just what was that all about? Like we come in, and that's what I want to see. We come in and it's like chill, and why is this not tracking properly? Why can't I just not see my flight path? Why does it start there? Guess we'll use Volanta, I guess. What happened? We were doing good. We flew that arc there, and then I guess our intercept heading was just way too shallow. But I swear it wasn't shallow. I'm used to a conventional HSI, so maybe I literally just thought it was a HSI and like in the moment, and then I didn't select a good enough heading. So we do a missed approach, and I'm like, okay, we'll fly a reciprocal and then we'll turn. But I make the wrong turn. Why did I turn left? Again, I think it's because that slider, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to hear this again, that slider that moves, it's based on the course. It doesn't care about your present position. So, that could be it, I think. That's a really annoying buzzer, though. What a terrible end to this flight. I mean, we made it, but, like, I'm not proud of whatever happened there. I think I got confused and just reverted to type and was like, oh, this is a conventional HSI. We can just turn here and this will do this. And no, that slider that moves is based on your current course. So when I was flying the reciprocal, it was still saying, you know, turn left to intercept or whatever. That was the problem. It should have been a simple 2 right turns to get back on course. Had I been a dumber pilot, I probably would have... It probably could have ended worse. I don't know. Landed on the wrong runway. I don't know. Landed on a road. Something like that. Anyways. Did survive, though. I just hate that buzzer. That buzzer was terrible. What is that buzzer about? Loud alarm. I don't know. I think it's the gear, but it just didn't go away. It just didn't go away. It's stupid. I'm pretty pressed about the buzzer. I'm pretty pressed about the yaw damper. I'm pretty pressed about the autopilot. I'm pretty pressed about the fact that me and myself mistook the HSI in this aircraft for a conventional HSI and totally botched the VOR approach. And basically only survived because I could see where the airport was. So, whatever, we made it. Welcome to Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I don't think I'm going to do the return. It's not really... I just don't got a good feeling about that for some reason. I wonder if we can see the horizontal stabilizer move. If I go... Oh yeah, it does move. And it shifts the whole CG of the plane. You can see it. It's such a crazy, weird design. Anyways, I'm just going to call it there, man. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. That was the full flight video on the Tu-134 that I kind of promised that I couldn't do a month back or so because I was busy. I'm not busy, but the plane is not happy with me. I've left it for too long and it's got attachment issues. It's a very tough plane to please. You gotta give it a lot of man hours, a lot of commitment for this plane to be satisfied. Otherwise you're gonna forget everything and totally screw up that approach like I did. So, anyways, hopefully that was enjoyable, man. More power to the Tupolev on X-Plane, you know? This is spreading the word. This also looks a lot like Polish Airlines, I won't lie. So, anyways, that's cool.